Hey y'all, it's Joe, and today I'm gonna put on a face. It's gonna be a get ready with me. All the products will be listed below. I'm probably not gonna talk much about the products. Kind of gonna do a mental health checkup, I guess you would say. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm gonna title this video yet. But I just want to sit and let y'all know what's been going on. I know that I've had tidbits here and there in some of my videos, and I know the lack of videos. Some of you have reached out and asked if I was okay, and I appreciate that so much. So let's just get into it. Let's put on some makeup and talk about what's going on. I am trying my other camera once more. I wasn't extremely happy with the last two videos on the camera. It was quite shaky when I touched my table, so I'm gonna try not to touch the table as hard this time and see what happens. So I've got a little table over here and I pulled out everything I want to use, so that hopefully it'll be faster. So I'm just gonna go in. I am going to be using 2 primers today, which is kind of unusual for me. But I know that looks so dark, but it won't be, I promise. I'm going to use this Kevin Aquan Glow Base. Some people just use it for a highlighter. I like to put it all over my face. And then I'm going to use the Milk Hydro Grip and then just get into the makeup. So, I guess let's talk about my physical health first. So I know it looks crazy when you put foundation over it, it's not this crazy. I have been in a lot of pain. And I do think that is mostly due to here in Tennessee. We're having a lot of like 20 to 30 degree differences in one day. So the hottest could be 61, the lowest could be 30. I don't usually get overwhelming pain in just the summer or just the winter, but when there's a difference in the weather such as that, I get a lot of pain. From what I understand, that's when the barometric pressure changes, and you will hear a lot of people say, oh, my joints are hurting, or people that normally aren't in pain may have a backache, yada, yada, yada. So, I'm already disabled. I don't really talk about what I have a lot, but I'm diagnosed with fibromyalgia, degenerative disc disease, which in the last several years I've lost 2 inches of height because of it. It did accelerate somewhat. I have peripheral neuropathy. I have a muscle, I would say this, I have a muscle situation, I can't pronounce the name of it, where my muscles like to seize up and cramp a lot. I'm trying to think. But that you get the gist. So this weather has not been the greatest for me. And then, when my health is just bad, and I'm in a lot of pain, and I can't do, like, the little things that I can do, because I always say me and my husband are able to run this house with what we have. So let's say he's running at 70%, I'm running at 30. You know, when a lot of people in their 40s are still running, a good 90%. And if they're a couple, they have 2 people at 90%, if that makes sense. So when I can't do my part, it means my husband either has to wait for my part to come in or do it on top of everything that he has to do, which leads to me having depression and anxiety. I can't look at my house without becoming extremely anxious because I know he's doing so much already. I know, and you know, doctors say, well, you just gotta not stress out. But I think as most of y'all know, any of y'all who, everybody's been stressed about something. That's not the way it works. You can't just not stress out. You can find methods. I do relaxation, meditation. I do physical therapy. I do things with YouTube, and all those things help quite a bit. I'm just using my screen on the camera. I'm gonna get a closer look real quick. I want it glowy. I'm definitely getting that. But so that's been hard because I've been down longer than I usually am. Usually there is a period between summer and winter that's hard on me. Unfortunately, it has lasted a lot longer this year. And that's not been good for my mental health. Well, then, last Thursday, which today is Friday, February 11th. Last Thursday, my outside cat, who's been in the master bath because of the weather, was starting to act different. I could tell she had lost some weight, but she was almost 16. So I wanted to make sure she was okay. You know, she was eating and drinking water, so I just was watching her for a couple of days. And then Friday night, it got bad. She was very lethargic. She was not reacting to me very well. Like her eyes, like, I don't know how to explain it. If you've had a pet that it has become time, maybe you know, but I knew that whatever she had was bad and that it was time. But then we got the appointment for Tuesday for her to be checked out, blood work, all that jazz. And Monday night, I'm in there with her, sitting on a step stool, which I shouldn't have been doing. Which I'll get back to that in just a second. She was making biscuits, you know, like cats do. She was pushing her head into my hand. And I thought, okay, maybe she just got a little cold or something and just don't feel very nice. But animals hide sicknesses usually really well. So I should not have gave myself that false hope, but I did. I gave myself false hope that, and this is just a tinted moisturizer, if you're wondering why it's not a lot of coverage. I don't want a lot of coverage today. So we got her there. The vet was very concerned from the get-go because she lost 6 pounds. And I did tell him that I was pretty sure that at least 2 of them was over the last week, which is really scary in cats. They can't lose weight really fast, or there's multiple diseases they can catch. I'm just going to use a little concealer. Well, a little for me, I guess. And, so he said, well, let's run some tests and just see. He said she's been really healthy up until right now. And that's been the truth. She's not ever had, you know, when we take her in for physicals, or if I thought, like, maybe her nose was running too much or whatever, every time she's come up with perfect health, which is crazy for an outside cat that's 16, you know? Well, almost 16. And, so it wasn't long that he called and he said, Gracie, I'm not going to get emotional. I've already told myself, I've already let myself have a good little cry before I started this video. So I'm going to try my hardest not to get too emotional. But, unfortunately, she had come down with diabetes. Her white blood count was extremely low. She had pancreatitis, and her kidneys were starting to lose function. Now, my vet is just an old school vet. He is pretty cut and dry, um, which I really like, because animals cannot tell you, what's going on. So you really depend on your vet. I like the way all this looks together so far. So he pretty much said, your cats. This is what we can do, which would be 2 injections a day, some antibiotics back and forth for pancreatitis, and fluids, and then check the kidneys back and forth. But that would be it, because she's just too old under anesthesia for anything. And I understood that. I've been through that before. So I just told him I wanted her to go with Dignity, because Gracie was such a strong cat. I know for a fact, I knew her well enough to know she would not want to be sick. And he did say, she's going to be sick the rest of her life. You would just be prolonging things. So he said he highly agreed with me, that was the best thing for her. And since I had been on the step stool for 3 nights, I was hurting pretty bad. And then the mental stress of having to humanely euthanize one of my babies, it was just a mess. I'm still a mess, but I'm doing better. I'm doing much better. I mean, I've got to make sure that I remember how much I've done for her. Because if you didn't catch my furry friend Friday about Gracie, she was actually one of the cats that was feral. But she was Mama Cat, who really liked us, one of her kittens, which the rest of the kittens socialized well and got homes. But Gracie never socialized very well. And then over the years, things just changed, and she started letting us pet her, and started letting me pick her up, then started letting Jason pick her up. So she really became a wonderful, wonderful cat. And I know I did what's right. I do know it. I understand that. I mean, I know in the comments people are going to say, you did the right thing, and I actually know that. But it's hard letting go. And a lot of people don't understand, but you think about your human kids. Well, me and Jason just have our fur babies, so they're our world. So she was buried beside her mother and beside her son, who we lost also. Her mother was almost 19 when she passed. She was an outside cat. Chaos was an inside cat. Her son, he passed right before 9 years old, from probably, it was guesstimated, a heart attack. Where we rescued all these cats were from, sadly, they were all mixed together, so there was probably a lot of incest going on, which does make health problems a lot of times for the cats later on. I'm really wanting to bronze up today, but that's fine. So I haven't been myself. We'll just put it like that. Just like yesterday, most of y'all know we are moving closer to where Jason works. And I was looking at a house, and I was like, oh, it doesn't have a back fence. We'll have to make sure to get that for Gracie. And then, you remember, like, your baby is not here anymore. That's not an issue anymore, which really stuck. That sent me, like, it's all about trying to make sure you don't go into a too dark of a place with depression. You definitely should feel things. I mean, if you didn't feel things, you wouldn't be human, But I'm so, my friends always say I'm so empathetic, and that I wear, my husband says I wear every emotion I have on my sleeve, which is true. And he always says that's part of the reason he loves me, but it's just, that part of me is not going to change. no matter, I tell him it would be easier if I could be, you know, feel things, but not take it in so hardcore. But that's just who I am. I can't help it, especially with animals, babies, and elderly people. I mean, it's not something that's really pretty color. It's not something I could help, and you know, I shouldn't really want to change it. It is who I am. But when you're in the midst of the emotional breakdown, you do wish that you could function easier when things happen. I have been blessed overly. I mean, I can't even. I have no idea why God has blessed me so much with the people that I know that have been there for me. YouTube friends, friends that live in my city, friends that don't live in my city that just check up on me for my mental health. I went a little crazy with the blush, but that's fine because I did want a lot of blush today. I mean, if it wasn't for, I mean, especially right now, my YouTube friends, because everybody's holed up at home, and I can see them on a screen and talk to them. That's been a real blessing. But I said all that pretty much to say that's why I've not been around, because I don't want my videos, I don't want to show a whole lot of grief in videos and stuff. I want my videos to uplift y'all and have a good time. And, you know, the ones who knew about Gracie when it happened, they reached out. They did what they needed to do for being a friend. And I wanted to be able, I guess, to grieve and mourn, but not bring it to my videos, because a lot of my friends on YouTube and my subscribers have a hard time already. And like I said, I just want this to be lighthearted and fun, but we can't always be that way, and that's completely fine, you know. I've not always been great at showing my emotions. I feel better when I let out my emotions. And that's the truth. I never thought I'd say that in my life, because I wasn't really, I was always just a hardcore tomboy, you know. I never really, I don't know, I just never really showed much emotion growing up. But, except with animals. I did with animals. I can't lie about that. If something happened to one of our babies growing up, I still was a mess. But normally, you know, I just wasn't a very emotional person. This is such a pretty highlight. If y'all ever think, you know, it was something worth this money, the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter definitely is, if you like a beautiful glow. It is so pretty. I have it in number 2 and 3, and now they sell it in travel sizes, which is amazing, because the other one is so large that I don't know. I mean, I'm going to use it, but it's going to be hard to use before it expires. But I kind of did want to get on here, though, and even though I don't like to show my emotions much on video, I did want to get on here and let people know it's okay. You know, it's okay to feel things. It was such a hard lesson for me to learn. I had a lot of therapy after I became disabled, to get to a point where it was okay for me to be mad that I was disabled, you know, to miss the person that I was before, and so forth, you know. And I just want y'all to know I'm always here. All my social media is down below. I'm just sitting underneath my eyes. because since I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, my my fine lines are really showing. But I think everybody needs to know it is okay to not be okay all the time. It is a hard lesson for the ones of us that don't like to show too much. Trust me, I mean, even my husband, both of us, it is a very hard thing to do, is show that we're upset or things. It's not as hard for me now because of therapy, but it is hard, especially if you're used to not showing emotion. But you gotta. I tell my friends that I do self mental checks so that I don't ever get back in the depression that I went into right after disability. I don't think that type of depression was good for me. And I'm glad that my family and friends and Jason knew me well enough to know I needed help. And I did get help. And it's what I needed because I wasn't allowing myself to have feelings. And that is not good. I will say this. If you were like me and maybe don't know how to express your feelings, or maybe not so much, or maybe just don't know how to show them because you just never did, you grew up, you had to be tough, or whatever. Everybody's got a different reason for how they act. But if you know that you don't show emotions for whatever reason, then I would ask of you to at least reach out to a friend when things happen. I would suggest therapy, but not everybody has insurance that does therapy, and not everybody can afford it without insurance, because it is quite high without insurance. But your friends, honestly, can do so much for you if you let them. And they will. And like I said, my contacts are down below. You can reach out to me. As long as you're not creepy, because I've had that happen before when I told somebody that they could reach out to me, and then it became a really weird situation. But the ones of you that know that, I think there are ones of you who know who I'm talking about. And I do suggest for you to reach out to at least a friend. Let yourself mourn. Let yourself talk to friends. Let yourself cry. There's so many things. And then on the flip side, when something good happens, I am one of the worst about not allowing myself to enjoy it that much, because feeling like I'm being selfish. That's not fair at all. Saying that out loud even sounds crazy to me, But our brain can think one thing and our heart do something else. So, I guess be gentle with yourself is what I'm trying to get at. Let yourself deserve to forgive yourself or forgive other people, or to feel whatever the emotion is that you need to feel. Because it's not easy for some of us. Like I said, I had a terrible time with it in the beginning. Terrible time. Everything was a joke. I just joked. That's all I just joked. And I know some of you know I'm a kidder anyway. But sometimes you gotta be real. And I wasn't. I was not being real. I was joking and letting myself be depressed when nobody was watching, luckily, family and friends knew me well enough to know that I was doing it. And, again, some people was like, well, if I go to therapy, I got to do it forever. Actually, no, you don't. I actually will say after just a couple visits, I felt better, which shook me because I thought it was a crock. I thought, how am I going to go in here and talk to somebody I don't even know about problems that I don't even know for sure I have? Does that make sense? Like, I wasn't admitting my problems to myself already. So, why did I need a therapist? But I did need one. And she probably has no idea what she's done for me. I don't think I even know the extent of what she did for me because I was going down a pretty dark hole. So, anyways, the very long story that I've told you, cramped into a little bitty bucket, I guess, would be I've had more pain than I would normally have this time of year. I was prepping myself for this time of year because it is always worse because we do have such drastic temperature change. But it's been worse than this year than normal. And with Gracie passing, I just wasn't me, and I am so thankful to Brenda Land, which I will link down below, for having her live streams and allowing me to come up and be able to talk to my friends and joke and laugh. Also, everybody on on the panel with Brenda Land, y'all know who you are. Also, James, my best friend, for probably when he was too tired to be messing with me because he worked so much, for being there and always being so realistic with me. That helps so much for somebody to be like, okay, this is what's going on and this is allowed, instead of me who was like, why am I such a dramatic mess? I mean, that's what I felt like, to Rhonda and Tish and Jen for answering Marco's and Instagram messages pretty much any time of day or night. I mean, all that means so much, and it's so crazy that when I started YouTube, I thought I didn't think that I was gonna make like friends. I thought, I'm bored, I'm gonna do some videos of stuff I enjoy, and that's just gonna be how, something to do. I never realized how many friends I would find, and like friends that I would take a bullet for, So I am going to show you these. These are by Terra Moon. These are the mattes that I have by Terra Moon. And these are the shimmers and highlighter that I have by Terra Moon. I'm going to try to do this. This video is getting quite long, so I'm going to try to kick this look out. But it's just been nice knowing I have people to be there for me, which I've got people here to be there for me, but like I said, we're all holed up, and this world right now is so crazy that we don't get to see people like we used to, which also doesn't help my depression very much. I actually don't mind being at home, but always once or twice a week, me and Jason would see friends, and that just couldn't happen because of, the pandemic in the world. Because Jason has an immune system problem, and of course I'm disabled, so we're doing the best we can not to catch COVID. Which I think you're allowed finally to stay on YouTube. I know forever if it was mentioned in comments or somebody said the word, they get... But I'm not monetized, so I can say whatever I want. But But anyway, that's pretty much the story. I hope it didn't get any of y'all down. It's just, it's just life, you know? And we all have life. And it's, I mean, I don't think I've ever met a person. I've met people that are better at it than others, but I've never met a person that didn't have problems sometimes. And that's just what I'm going through, you know? And it's hard when I want to just bring y'all good content that's joyful. And as my friends, because most of my subscribers actually are friends, I should be fine with saying this kind of stuff, you know? So, I guess my main concern is that everybody reaches out to somebody. Because you don't have to do any of it alone. I know sometimes for a while maybe you want to. I mean, I didn't come on here right away after Gracie's death because I was still mourning. I am still mourning. But I'm in a place now that I don't bawl every time I think about her. I mean, I still cry quite a bit, but not every time I think about her. But, anyways, besides my little drama, how has life been with you guys? I know a lot of you have been sick either with COVID or sinus infections, or some of you, because of the weather changes, have been really sore. I hope that y'all are pulling through okay. It's really a hard time of year for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people are trying to recover from the financial burden of Christmas, which I love Christmas, but it's still a financial burden, you know, because you want to do things for people. And now we're all trying to get our tax papers together, which used to be not so bad for me and Jason because we had employers, or even with my disability, because we would normally get money back. But now that he's a free agent, of course, he has to pay taxes in. So we have to make sure to save enough during the year. I can't see why. Can y'all see? I love Terra Moon shadows, so I don't know what's going on with that. It may not, it's not working over a shadow very well. But I'll go in with a little more and see what happens. And then, of course, the people that get money back, taxes aren't that terrible. They're ready to get them in the mail and get their money, you know? So, there's just a lot going on at the beginning of the year. And I think a bunch of us were so ready for 2021 to be over that I guess got better than this. But a lot of us are having some struggles at the beginning of the year, and it makes us anxious and nervous, but that's okay. That's my cat meowing because he thinks he's hungry all the time. It actually don't look too bad now. I just need to build it up a little more. But yeah, so I hope all y'all are doing well. I hope all y'all get money back on your taxes. This is the time of year a lot of mystery boxes come out. A lot of Valentine's Day products come out. Nothing's really caught my eye except for the Glaminatrix palette that's coming out on, I think, the 20th in Australia, but the 19th in America. I've got it set up in my calendar to ring when it's time. But, yeah, it doesn't do as good on top of a other shadow. But it actually looks better in person than it does on that camera. But cameras show all your secrets, don't they? But, I'm going to go into the shimmers now. But, I just want to let y'all know what's going on with me. I want to know what's going on with you guys, of course. I think I already put on some highlighter, but I think I'm going to use some of this highlighter that I got from Terra Moon. Oh, gosh, yes, that's bright. Can you... Whew, that's pretty. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing great. y'all have meant so much to me that I just hope the best things and wish the best things for you guys. Y'all are so amazing. I don't know if people tell each other enough how amazing each other is. And I think we need to do that more. Compliment each other more. Ooh, that might have been a little too bright for an underbrow highlight, but we're going to go with it. But we do. We need to, even if we fuss and fight with our friends, we need to take a moment, sit back, say, you know what, in life, I have also messed up. So this little tiff with my friend or little fight we're having is not really that big a deal in the scheme of things. I mean, sometimes it is, but I mean, a lot of times we lose really good friendships over the smallest things. And I just want everybody to kind of reevaluate everything. I mean, I actually reevaluated and lost somebody that was near and dear to me, and then I was like, wait, I'm the one in this relationship that's doing all the work. And so when I gotta get glitter glue, I forgot it. When I got, when I needed them and I reached out, they weren't there. And I'm like, you know what? I am 41 years old. I don't need that in my life. Because I evaluated my whole relationship. It wasn't over just that moment. So, I mean, there's friends you need to make up with. There will be friends that you need to get rid of for your own mental health. And that's okay too, you know. I feel like I'm doing a TED Talk. But I just want everybody to know how grateful I am and that it is okay to feel whatever you're feeling. If it gets too dark, please ask for help. I had to, and it was the best thing I ever did. And I always tell my friends I'm doing a self checkup today to make sure my mental health's okay. Because I don't want to sink so low like I did last time and not be aware. This look, I think, is going to turn out amazing, if I do say so myself. And I didn't even know what I was going in for. I just picked out some products. I'll try to list the singles that I'm using from Terra Moon below. Because they're so pretty. I got very lucky that a friend of mine, Trouble with Tish, I think is what her channel name is. I'll link her down below. I got very fortunate that she made me aware of a really big sale they were having. And all these indie brands that have these beautiful shimmer and multi-chromes and stuff, I mean, they have to charge a lot because they put a lot into it and then they're pressing them themselves. But I'll try to leave all the names below. So if you want to check them out, I am going to be going to grab pizza from a new pizza place tonight with my husband. We're just going to take it to our friend's house, but that's quite exciting. I love pizza, but I like trying new restaurants. I know this video's been kind of all over the place. I actually knew it kind of would be. I should have did a warning in the beginning that, hey, this video may go off the rails. Oh wow, that green is something else. I really like that. It's almost the color of the green I used on my eye, except it's the shimmer version, and it's gorgeous. I really like that. I'm really happy with this look. I didn't know how it would turn out because I knew I'd be on an emotional journey and trying not to cry. I'm going to use like a really pretty blue under my eye. can't really talk when I do it under my eye, or I will poke my eye with a brush. I think I need something smaller than that brush. If you stayed throughout this whole video, I do really appreciate. I knew it'd be much longer than I normally would do. I try to keep my videos under 15 minutes, but that's such a pretty blue. But if you're doing a full face, it's hard. Especially talking and trying to remember all the information you want to see. That's a really pretty blue. I'm somewhat actually matching my shirt today. Y'all know I usually do my makeup and it don't match my clothes. And I don't care. Just because that's kind of the way I do my makeup. I don't really correlate it. I'm just putting some of that highlighter in the corner to open my eye up a bit. I don't really correlate my makeup look with my clothes, which is probably weird, but I don't care if it's weird. I'll go in with this Lethal Cosmetics gel liner. I love these gel liners. If you want something that will stay in your waterline, it's these little pots by Lethal Cosmetics. This is called Playback. You do have to be careful because they will dry out if you don't keep them shut nice. But, oh, I got sparkles all over my fingers. I better wipe that off. I don't think I've ever done a long video like this, so I do apologize for that. I always have a hard time doing my eyeliner and looking at the camera. I really need my mirror. The only problem I have is because I always get it in my lashes, but look how much brighter my eye looks with that. It's like a minty green. It's hard to talk doing this too. I don't know how people don't pull their eye down and do it though. I've got friends that don't have to pull their eye down. I can't do that. Pulling your eye down causes wrinkles, so you should try not to do that. But it is what it is. This is that Refi sculpting brow gel, and I'm telling you, well worth the money. It goes on white and it kind of freaks you out, but then it dries clear and your brows don't move. And I thought my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow freeze was going to be my ride or die, but this is so much easier, and it works so good. I was very impressed with that. I was several large YouTubers that I watch was saying how great it was because it's fairly new, and I will second and third and fourth that. It literally keeps them eyelashes up, girl. Oh, so where are we at? We're at mascara. Gosh, I hope y'all don't mind watching this long video. And this is the Callaway tubing mascara. I really like this mascara too. I don't know how my friends look into the monitor and do their mascara. I have to do it in the mirror. I did get a little on the bottom over there. I'm gonna have to flick it off. My nose is wanting to run. Now you do have to kind of need a balm or an oil or a gel to get this mascara off, because it stays. I'm not gonna do too many layers because I'm not into. See right there, I got a little mascara. But I don't need like crazy lashes tonight. Let's go to a friend's house. Miss Tina, which I'll link down below, is the one who was like, girl, you need to do your base for front to last. And I was like, you don't understand how long that video is going to be. But this is for you, Tina. And this is the Ashley Strong Morphe set. It came out a while ago, so I don't know if it's available, but I've never used it. So let's see. It's a sharpenable pencil in Gilded Spirit. And my cat's still begging. I do like a brown liner. So, and it comes with a gloss. Usually I would use some kind of lipstick, but let's see what it looks like with just the gloss. It's actually quite pretty. I went a little overboard with it. I didn't realize how fast it was going to come out. I quite like that. It's kind of like just a tint darker than my lips. So this is my finished look. And I hope the video wasn't too awful long for you. It's the longest video I've ever done. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to my mental health journey recently. And again, all my contact will be down below if you need to get a hold of me for yourself. Oh, I guess I could take this little mascara off. Before I let y'all go. There we go. But I love you guys so much, and thank you all for checking on me throughout the last couple of weeks. I love you all, and I hope y'all have a good day. Bye, guys.